Now available in paperback and Kindle Unlimited. Isis, Escape from Transylvania. The goddess next door and John Haynes must escape a horde of vampires on the hunt in this horror-filled Isis series adventure. Get Isis, Escape from Transylvania in paperback and Kindle Unlimited today. ABC has decided to cancel its successful Roseanne reboot after its star, Roseanne Barr, decided to make a racist tweet on Twitter. And in this tweet she made, she called an Obama-era staffer, a black woman, an ape. Now, many are offended by the statement that Roseanne Barr made. However, when I take a look at Roseanne Barr's statement, it's par for the course as related to Roseanne Barr, and it's par for the course as related to the culture at Disney. And when I take a look at the actions made by ABC to cancel the new Roseanne reboot, it's all a way to protect the parent company, Disney, and keep people from seeing the culture of racism that has gone on at Disney for years. Now, when it comes down to this whole action of canceling this Roseanne show, this was something that Disney did in order to protect itself and keep people from taking a look at the bigger picture as related to the culture of racism at Disney and many of its divisions. However, if someone like myself takes a critical look at Disney and the bigger picture, they can see the culture of racism clearly in front of them, and they can see the hypocrisy of canceling Roseanne Barr for being a person who goes out here and makes a racist tweet against an Obama supporter, and then take a look at the actions that they have participated in all over the last couple of years. And I can take a look at several recent projects that Disney has made, and I can clearly see the racism in them. Now, recently, Disney's division Lucasfilm released a film called Solo, a Star Wars story. And as part of the promotion for Solo, a Star Wars story, they decided to announce that Lando Calrissian was a pansexual. Now, Lando Calrissian was a popular character in the original Star Wars trilogy, and he was a very popular African-American male heterosexual character. And what your Disney decided to do was announce that Lando Calrissian was pansexual in this prequel as an effort to promote diversity. However, those of us who understand racism understand that this was a passive-aggressive swipe at heterosexual black men and an effort to try to emasculate the black male and degrade the black male image. However, many did not call Disney out about this except for Star Wars fans and comic fans who knew the truth about Lando Calrissian's sexuality and knew what Disney was trying to do. And earlier this year, when they released the billion-dollar box office hit Black Panther, many black people thought this was the greatest black film ever made. However, there were efforts in this film to neuter the T'Challa character, emasculate the T'Challa character, and efforts to degrade the T'Challa character, the Black Panther, all throughout this film. And all of these efforts were put in the film because many of the people at Disney did not want to see a strong, masculine, heterosexual black male image on screen. And if I go back to 2017, I can go back to an ABC sitcom called The Mayor, which featured a aspiring rapper who decided to run for mayor of his town. And he decides to run for mayor not because he cares about his community, but because he wants to promote a rap album he's been making in his apartment. And what they did on this mayor show was breathe brand new life into old stereotypes and promote old stereotypes I haven't seen about black men since the 1930s. But no one at ABC or Disney was ever called out about the racism regarding the mayor, and I was probably one of the only people to ever make a video talking about the racism on this show. And all you have to do is take a look at the big picture as related to Disney, and you can see the culture of racism that has been going on at Disney for the last 30, 40, maybe even 50 years regarding black people and the black image. But they want to sit there and say, we are going to cancel this Roseanne show, and that's going to do something about this one racist, but it does absolutely nothing about the culture of racism that has been going on at Disney a culture that has even been promoted by black women like your Shonda Rhimes, because your Shonda Rhimes for almost 8 years promoted a show called Scandal, a show where Olivia Pope was a side piece to the white male president of the United States. And this show went on for years on ABC in spite of numerous calls by black men to have something done about this show, which was degrading the black female image. And when I take a look at, again, ABC and Disney's culture, this culture has been going on at ABC and Disney for years. And what they want to do is throw Roseanne under the bus in order to protect the racist corporate culture at Disney that has been going on for decades. Because when it comes down to Disney, Disney has been the #1 promoter of negative images of African Americans in the Big Six media. However, they get a big pass from many people because many people will sit there and they'll take the person they throw in front of them and say that they're doing something about racism, but they aren't going to take a look at the bigger picture of the culture going on behind the scenes. And when I take a look at the bigger picture of the culture going on behind the scenes at Disney, there's a lot of racism in many of their divisions like Lucasfilm and divisions like Marvel Comics, where we have many of these comic pros who are sitting there talking about diversity and publishing comics which they say that they're promoting all of these diverse characters. However, when you take a look in between the pages of those Marvel comics, like those featuring the Riri Williams black female Iron Man, which is an insult to black women to say that she's going to be Iron Man, we see the racism on the pages of those comics from those comic pros. However, Disney won't go out of its way to try to clean house regarding many of those racists who work in their Marvel Comics division or who work on many of their other television shows, because Disney isn't really serious about doing anything about the racist culture that goes on at your Disney Big Six media or any of the Big Six divisions in there. Because when it comes down to Disney, Disney's culture, again, has been racist from day one because Walt Disney himself was a racist and a white supremacist. So when I take a look at these efforts to cancel this Roseanne show and all of this fake outrage regarding this Roseanne and her racist tweet, it's just them throwing a racist under the bus who just jumped the gun and spoke too soon. Because when it comes down to Roseanne Barr, that's what she's really being punished for, jumping the gun and speaking too soon. Because when it comes down to many of these racists, they have felt emboldened over the last decade or so, and many of these racists now feel like they should be able to say whatever they want and do whatever they want. However, what's happening is they don't want it to be the first one to come out and say it. And Roseanne was just the first one to come out and actually say what's on her mind. And ABC, yes, what they did was cancel the show in a hopes of protecting their public image. But the real problem at ABC and its parent company Disney is that there's been a culture of racism going on at these companies for years, and they don't want to confront the culture that has been permeating at Disney for the last couple of decades. And all you have to do is take a look at the products that Disney is producing, and you can clearly see the culture of racism that has been going on for the last couple of decades. All you have to do is look at a show like The Mayor, which promoted stereotypes about black men being stupid and incompetent and running for mayor of a municipality in order to be a rap star. That's a slap in the face to black men. All you have to do is look at this announcement that Lando Calrissian is a pansexual and see that as a racist statement, because why can't Han Solo be the pansexual and promote diversity? Why does it always have to be the African American character who promotes these whole narratives regarding sexual orientation and promoting acts that are sexually deviant to some people? And why is it that we have shows like Scandal which promoted a black woman out here breathing brand new life into the black Jezebel, and no one says a word about it. But when Roseanne makes a racist tweet, we have the show canceled immediately, and it's only because it hit the national stage and embarrassed the company. But it's okay for them to go out here and promote negative images of black people for the years, and no one says anything, or for many of these comic pros who work at Disney's other division, Marvel Comics, to present paternalistic images of black people and promote a false narrative regarding diversity, but no one says a single word for it. Now, I'm not defending Roseanne Barr, because Roseanne Barr is nothing more than your standard, typical white supremacist female. But what I want people to do is take a critical look at its parent company, Disney, and take a look at the racism they participate in every day. Because it's the culture of racism that has been promoted at Disney over the last few decades that emboldened Roseanne Barr to go out here and make that tweet on social media. It's that culture of racism at Disney that allowed her to feel confident enough to go out here and be a racist out here as a social norm. And it's that culture of racism at Disney that made her feel confident enough to do this and not even think about the many people who were working on that television show or their livelihoods or their lives. Because all those people who worked on that Roseanne show, they all lost their jobs as a result of this racist, and all those people lost a chance to actually to start their lives over, because I know how it is with unemployment. A lot of these people were probably out of work for a while, and they all lost their jobs because of this racist. And I look at the big picture of this overall, and again, people are mad at Roseanne when they really need to take a critical look at the parent company, Disney, because Disney is the company that has promoted this culture and has promoted this idea as a way of life. And what we're seeing now are people feeling emboldened to go out here and be this type of racist. And the reason why they feel emboldened is because they look at American culture and they feel like it's okay to be a racist. And when I look at American culture and the bigger picture of it, it's these companies like Disney that promoted these ideas to people, and it's the companies like Disney that want people to feel emboldened. And again, Roseanne Barr just jumped the gun and went ahead of things, but this is where they wanted to push things to go. A lot of people want to say that this was as a result of Trump, but no, this was going on even before your Donald Trump. We had many of these racists out here. They were making numerous statements on social media. They've been making numerous statements on social media for years, and many people have given it a pass. I remember when Tina Fey and Amy Poehler took a shot at Bill Cosby, and many people gave that a pass, but all these people now are all upset because Roseanne Barr took a shot at an Obama-era staffer. And that's really something that I have to really question, because they're upset because Roseanne took a shot at an Obama-era staffer, but yet when Tina Fey and Amy Poehler took a shot at Bill Cosby, no one was upset, no one was outraged, and no one was angry enough to hold either Tina Fey or Amy Poehler accountable, because, as I see it, what they wanted to do was protect their economic interests, because that's what they wanted to do at the time. However, they're willing to throw Roseanne Barr under the bus because they see this woman putting them at risk and putting their money at risk, and they don't want anyone looking at the bigger picture as related to Disney. But when you take a look at the bigger picture as related to Disney, and all you have to do is look at their products, and you can see all the racism going on throughout them. And the whole big thing with the Roseanne sacrifice is that what they want to do is have you look at them firing Roseanne, but not looking at the bigger picture as related to the culture of racism that has gone on at Disney for years. If you'd like to see me make more videos like this, you can donate to my Patreon by clicking the link in the description box. And if you want to try some of my SJS Direct publications, like the ISIS series, the E-Steam series, The Temptation of John Haynes, and the Smith-Dorella trilogy, you may do so by clicking the link to Amazon.com. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe.